Sanji's Siren Song, Chapter 1, Baratier. The back door to the kitchen of Baratier slammed open with so much force that the entire kitchen shook, and everyone stopped. Asaf! It screamed so loud that it is heard even in front of house, while the line staff simply watch as a young woman, with hair the most violent shade of purple, scans the kitchen, clutches her chest, and whimpers, "Help me," as she collapses to the ground. "What the hell is going on back here?" The gruff voice owner of Baratier projects. "Ashira!" Zeph gasps, as he lays eyes on the woman who has collapsed in his kitchen. He hobbles over to kneel beside his adopted daughter. "You, run back and make sure Sanji's old room is tidy. It's closer than hers. You three, help me carry Ashira back there." Zeph instructs his line staff. "Right, you lot, back to work and make sure the dinner service is completed." Zeph barks while following the boys to Sanji's old room. Once the staff have put Ashira down, Zeph pulls up a chair to sit beside the woman. "You lot, get back to the kitchen." "Sanji," Ashira moans the next morning, turning her head to bury her nose further into the pillow she's been sleeping on, breathing in the smell of stale cigarettes, cooking, and the unmistakable scent that belonged to Sanji, and Sanji alone. "Oh, Ashy, love, you taught him your song, didn't you?" Zeph asked once Ashira's gaze had cleared and locked on Zeph. Where is he?" Ashira replied with tears in her eyes, already having an idea on what the answer would be. Zeph swallowed slowly. "He sailed away to try and find the All Blue, darling." "What? Why? I could have..." Ashira finished on a sob and grabbed Zeph's hand. "Now, I'm gonna ask again. You taught him your song, didn't you?" Zeph asked again, but a lot softer. Ashira nodded. "Do you remember when you and Sanji were stranded on that rock?" Zeph didn't say anything, but simply patted her hand and waited for Ashira to continue. "Mama wanted me to keep an eye on Sanji while she kept watch on you. But he was so restless when he was trying to sleep. So I sang to him. But I didn't know it was my song until a few years later, when he gave me the book about sirens," Ashira finished. "I'm sorry about so much, darling. I never asked your mama to fetch a ship for us. I never thought that she would get so close to those bastards that she would die. And I'm sorry for not being able to help much with raising a siren for a daughter." Zeph rambled with a bowed head. "Papa Z, you did more for me than most others would. Besides, how would you know about the siren side of all this?" Ashira waved to herself in general. "You are a human mate to a siren. Mama wouldn't have filled you in on all this." Ashira groaned, clutching her chest again. "Why does it feel as if my heart is actually being torn in two?" Ashira moaned. "Because it is love. I read some of the book I got for you. It is a combination of many things. But simply put, for the moment, the distance between you and Sanji is the biggest issue. You need to be closer to him to get your strength back. I'll organize a special transport to take you in the general direction that the Straw Hat Pirate sailed, and you'll be able to give them more information on the direction you need to take when you're on board. But there is no way you can swim there yourself." Zeph finished, looking at the tears welling in Ashira's dark ocean blue eyes. "I'll go and send a message to the Siren transport ship. You try and get some sleep," Zeph stated, patting Ashira's hand and tucking it back under Sanji's blankets. 2 days later. "Thank you for coming as fast as you could, Captain Adrena," Zeph stated as the captain of the Delphine stepped onto the dock of Baratier. "How is Ashira?" Adrena questioned. Not good. Her pain has been slowly getting worse, and she hasn't been able to get out of Sanji's bed, or far from anything that has his scent on it, Zeph replied. And, I've not been able to find a chance to get around to explaining to her about what needs to happen between her and Sanji when you catch up to the going merry, Zeph continued, blushing fiercely for an old sea dog. Adrena smiled, patted Zeph on the back, and laughed, a sound that warmed his chest and reminded him of water falling gently over rocks. That is all right. I will explain it to Ashira once we get on the sea, as she will be somewhat better the closer we get to her mate. So, Captain Zeph, we cannot waste any more time. Can you please pack up Ashira's belongings, the book that I gave you, and as many items that have her mate's scent on it as you can to ease her pain? Deviana, Kiana, please go with Captain Zeph to help him move Ashira onto the Delphine. Captain Adrena, can I ask one small favor? Zeph requested. For you, anything, Adrena continued. I have a letter for Sanji explaining a few things about Ashira that I'd like you to deliver for me, Zeph concluded. Of course, Adrena agreed. Chapter 2. Zeph's Letter. Little Eggplant. I never thought I'd be writing you a letter, especially about this particular topic of all things. But this is bigger than me being embarrassed about writing it to you, and you not wanting to read about it. But Sanji, this is about Ashira, and as you have seen by the time you have bothered to open this, she's in pretty bad shape. I don't think I ever told you the full truth about her and her mother, Hayano. It was always a question of where do I begin with the whole truth. Fuck it. Simple is best. You see, Ashira and Hayano are not just mermaids, but sirens. Yes, lad, sirens. The ones that most pirates fear. But like most beings, you only need to fear them when they have been wronged. Their song is not always dangerous. It can be a beautiful thing. They can sing like the angels themselves when they want. But there is a rarer song that each siren holds close to her heart. Her mate song. This song is taught to a human by a siren when they wish to become mates. They can only teach one human their song for their whole life, and it is an amazing bond like no other. If the human is having trouble at sea, then he can sing or whistle the song, and his siren will come to his aid. They always come back to you, and both mates can have other partners. I mean, sirens can swim a long way, and they live quite long lives if they are careful. It was nice to have options. Anyways, do you remember how you met little Ashy? Remember it was after we got off that godforsaken rock? Remember that ship with the mermaid for a figurehead? Well, that weren't just no figurehead, boy. Those bastard pirates had killed Ashira's mother, Hayano, and tied her to the figurehead. I remember you asking me why I was crying, and I wound up telling you that it was because I was bloody happy that they had found us. I really wasn't. I was crying for my mate. It hurt my heart so bad to see her like that, and I wanted to kill those bastard pirates. But I had both you and Ashira now to look after, and I only had me one leg. I still haven't found them. Bastards. Yeah, you read that right. I was Hayano's human mate. No little eggplant. Ashira is not my daughter. But Hayano did tell me that I gave her 2 sons, Zin and Siren, human males that live in the North Blue. Ashira also has 2 sisters that are sirens, Cascade and Meridian, who live in West Blue. They are not mine. Anyway, this is not important at this point in time. I've gotten off track again. This is the point. While we were stuck on that rock, Hayano and Ashira were looking after us. Ashi told me that you had trouble sleeping, so she sung to you. But what she didn't know was that she had begun to sing her mate song to you. It wasn't until I gave her a book a few years later about sirens that she realized what she had done, and by that stage it was too late to break the bond. If her mum hadn't died, there may have been a chance to reverse what she did. As the book said, that sometimes little kids do that without knowing. But by the time for breaking your bond with Ashira has long since passed. Sanji, Ashira is dying. Her heart is breaking in two. What you, and myself, never noticed over the years was that every time you got your fucking belt end wet, you would end up whistling up a treat, and Ashy would turn up with a big smile on her face saying she was there to see us. Even back then, I kinda knew that part was a lie. She would always catch you leaving the ship, or wherever it was that you left your latest conquest. I noticed that her face would fall while grasping her chest. When she realized that you weren't whistling for her, but because someone else had made you happy. Yet Ashy would shake her head and have a smile on her face to greet her oldest friend. You. It took me a couple of years to put the whistling together with Ashy turning up. That she must have taught you her mate's song. By then I could see that each time you whistled after having a good fuck, it was taking its toll on the poor thing, who has only ever had you in her sight, while you have been utterly blind to her. Do you know that she has only had one other lover? Well, I cannot ever begin to count yours, you good-for-nothing horny bastard. Sorry. There are a couple of things that you will need to do for Ashira to survive this. You will need to return the affection she has for you. Not just in words, but in actions too. Tell her you love her. But you will also need to make love to the girl. Yes, you moron, she is still a girl. A woman, you know what I mean. Just don't fuck her. You need to do this with all your heart and the sincerity I know that you have. Little eggplant, you may not know it, but I do know that you love Ashy with all your heart. If, for some stupid reason, you feel that you are unable to do this with true feelings for her, then it will be better off letting her simply dive off the boat and become seawater. Ashira is too far gone for you to toy with her like you did as children. If you need to help, there is a book in Ashira's belongings that may be of some use. Or send word to either Mako Village in the Siren Islands in East Blue. This is where Ashira stays when not at Baratier. Or Captain Adrena of the Delphine, the ship that brought her to you. Please, Sanji, I'm begging you as a father figure to you both, don't let my little Siren die. She's all I have left of her mother, and I know you will never be whole again if you let her go. Zeph.